There we go.
Ready?
Yep.
Hi guys, Tammy here from Flex Compound. And for all of you that when I asked what did you think I was making out of this, I was actually making a little book to go on this train set that I made. I showed how I used blocks that I got for 19 cents from Hobby Lobby that were 4th of July ones. And this is the train set. I don't know if you can see. It's kind of an Easter train, just a fun thing for my grandson. And but it really did turn out cute. I used a lot of IOD molds, mostly all IOD molds, I believe. Even this right here is an IOD mold. That's the one that has the hole in it, and you can use it for like your drawer pullbacks. And of course, we have spent 2 days. One thing I never do is lose my molds, and I cannot find this. I used it at Christmas time. So I had one that I was going to do on a live, but I'll also show you what else you can do with it. This is the base of this particular little train and this one. These are for my niece, and so I made those for her. But what I used on the bottom instead of the blocks, because I didn't have any more blocks, is I used this particular piece as the bottom. And I just put the Jenga block and attached the wheels with a wooden skewer, and then added also little flowers that is from an IOD mold.
Hi, Cindy. Hi, Cecile. Cindy says hi, and Cecile says, hello, Tammy, sweet friend. So great to catch you live.
Oh, tell her thank you so much,
I was like,
Cecile, for coming. I forget that we're on a live. Yeah, lives are pretty hard nowadays. But anyway, so that's what I was making. We had several entries. Before we're done, we're going to pick the winner, and you'll be getting some Easter inspiration from Formflex Compound. And I'm just going to show you really quick, you guys, how this book was made and how easy and how many uses. You would not have to use this as a stand-up, and I made my Jenga blocks so that I could. But if you had wanted to do this for Christmas, any holiday, go ahead and poke a hole in it, put it on a string, and how pretty hanging from a tree. Okay, like your Easter tree, whatever. What I did use here is all I did was for this little, I just used a stamp. The stamps that I used are from this particular one by Redesign. And I just took one of these small ones and I stamped part of it. And what I do, because I'm not the greatest stamper in the world, I always stamp on paper. I'm going to use a different frames mold that I have and just kind of show you how I did the inside of that. But all I did was just take a piece of paper like this, run my fingernail right along there where the little, indent is, and then tore that out and then just stamped on it, and then just took and Mod Podged it down, or whatever you have, you can use. And I just put that on there, and I used the IOD ink, and I have something called Fix It. And whenever I do stamping on paper, I spray it with this stuff called Fix It, and I never have any issues with it running or anything, gluing it down or Mod Podging or spraying it or whatever I want to do with it. But how I got this book is, all I did was I took Jenga blocks. Jenga blocks are your best friend. I just took the 3 Jenga blocks like so, and I glued them down. And I took this and made this and this my frame. And I'll show you so that you can do the same thing if you want a frame. Now, these would be cute for a wedding, a baby shower. I mean, you could put a kid's picture in there. You could put an ultrasound picture, a wedding. You could have their picture, name, whatever on the front of this. But this is a different casting than what this book is made out of. I apologize. I have no idea, and it's drove me crazy that I can't find my mold. I can't even imagine what I did with it. I just never misplace my molds. I have certain places where they all go by company, and it's just so weird to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this down, and I want to leave enough room so that if I want this to go in there, as you can see, I didn't glue this in and see the Jenga blocks down in there, so that I could glue it that way on my train, or I can glue it this way. Either way, I could glue this piece however I want it, either to go to the front, or I can turn it around. and have it go to the back as well. So either way you want it to go. And I left this long on purpose because when I get ready to attach it, I'll be putting that little piece of right there for extra support, okay? So that's the reason.
Excuse me. Hi, Emily. Hi, Lynn.
Thank you guys for joining us on such a short notice.
Emily says, hey, I finally caught you live, and then says, hey, Tammy.
So we were going to do this early this morning, and then life happens, and it doesn't always happen. But I thought what I'd do is I'm going to put like a carrot. I have, you know, other little pieces. These are all Formflex. All of these pieces are Formflex. I've showed it all on a live. One of the other things, I'll go ahead and start gluing this, and then I want to talk about how I did the sheep from IOD also. So first thing, just make sure that you have enough room to put that one in. I don't want to glue that one in. And the reason that we're using these, you'll see in a minute, because in order to make my pages, I used popsicle sticks, okay? And that's how easy this is. And that way, there's just no measuring. I mean, you have room for error on this. You don't have to worry about it being exact, okay? So, like in this one, I spaced the Jenga blocks out because it was a bigger, this piece right here was larger. So inside I had the Jenga blocks spaced out a little bit. Now, the reason I'm leaving some room right here is because that's where my book pages are going to go. And all I did was take a popsicle stick, I measured it, I trimmed it off, I put one across the top, one across the side. If you were going to do the whole thing, you could put one across the bottom as well and maybe glue another Jenga block onto the bottom, okay, if you didn't want to use this piece to help it stand.
Marcia says, very nice. And Vicky Armstrong says, glad to catch a live. It's nice to see you, Vicky. Aspen, how are you? She says, you always amaze me with what you come up with. Truly adorable.
Thank you. So I did that, and then I just glued these two pieces together like so.
And Cindy said, very cool.
Yeah, you guys, this is just a fun thing. And can you imagine with summer coming, having a garden party, you know, wedding time, baby showers, all that kind of stuff. Just a quick, easy, and I just think it's so cool because whatever you put on the front could have the theme of what you're going with. So now what I would do with this one is I would just take my knife and cut that straight. Formflex cuts really easy. I would cut that straight. Actually, you should cut it off before you put it on. And that way your trim molding will go down. The other one has a straight side. So if you're looking for something, you might want to look for something with a straight side.
Marcia says, you are so creative. And yes, she is. She can make something extravagant with next to nothing. It's unreal.
So I'm going to use, like this piece of trim is on another project that I'm working on, and I just had that little extra. So that could be my side. Any little piece of trim that you have, you can save. You can repaint it and do whatever you want with it. But now you'll see where your popsicle stick comes into play. See how that fits so nice and tight right in there? And then I just used joint compound on top of it. I glued it in, and then I just scratched it with a toothpick. And that's how I got the lines for this. And actually, Brett dropped that while I was trying.
Yeah.
I had it sitting there drying and he dropped it. So that's how it goes together, you guys. Super easy, super fun. Like I said, you can put the Jenga block in it to make it stand if you want. Just glue this piece on. I glued this piece on first. I would trim it to however you want, you know, trim it down to where you want it, and then stick your popsicle sticks in and put your joint compound on it.
Hi, Donna. Hi,
So
Joanne.
that's how easy it is. I did have a lot of questions about the flexibility of Formflex. You guys, it does flex. The next thing, see this, and it even, until you actually seal it and put it down, it does. Now, these here are the IOD mold that I showed, and I got them done, and you just, I put a foil up underneath them to make the plate type thing. And I think these would be really cute, not just for Easter, but for all summer. I mean, the cabbages just pretty, you know, you can use it all the time. I did put a light coat of UV resin on the back.
Donna says, love watching you work. Cecile says, your ideas are so amazing, Tammy. And Joanne White says, you're full of ideas.
Thanks. And so that's what I did to those. I said to Amber, I'm pretty sure I did put a UV resin on the back, but I may have just sprayed it. And I might still have to because it sure doesn't feel real like UV resin. It might. But here, then this one,
you resined it.
I want to show you is that this is an IOD mold, and can you see that in there?
Yep.
And you guys, this is a sheet mold. He needs a little bit of a haircut, but I was telling you about how you could make him look like he's on a pull toy. And I did resin his feet because I had no idea how I was going to get him to stand. And I might trim up some of his fur, but I did both sides because this one cannot be made like a double. Like, for instance, this rooster from IOD, you can do that double. You can do this one here as a double, okay? What I'm going to, I got to finish this. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I want to be cohesive with the whole thing. This guy will have this going up against it, a tipped Easter basket, and I'll put a handle on it, but I put his pull, you know, I just think this is so cute. I love pull toys, and I thought that's a really clever way to add to the little train set, okay?
Tina, you were right. She says, there's the book. That's what she was just showing.
Yep, that's the book. That's what it was. So that one from IOD, this is for my niece again, you guys. I have a really hard time working with colors that aren't my bag.
Down a little bit.
Yeah. And this is for her. This is, I don't know, I haven't glued any of this in yet. I was just going to show you. All these little pieces are all Formflex. These are from Amazon. You can buy all these molds from Amazon. There's an egg mold, a peep, there's a larger peep, and then there's that one there. And I've showed those a million times. But what I was showing in the post that I made yesterday, you can always figure out a way to engineer anything. And yeah, see, this will hang, and I thought about putting carrots and different stuff, but her stuff is different than mine. She's pretty plain, okay?
Joanne says, pull toy is cute, and Donna French says, so cute.
Yeah, and you could, like, and with this, you could do, this looks so cute, just hanging on a cupboard door. And I made a man on one side, a girl on the other side. And this is just a paper doily. These are what I showed that I got from Amazon. These tins, you get a ton of them.
Like 100. Yeah.
Yeah, for $17. Here I made the loop like I've showed several times. You just take a wrapped wire around a pencil, make a loop, and glue it together.
Joanne, that's the understatement of a century. She says, you're the best engineer.
Yeah. And this was a tassel. The reason I wanted this tassel, these are her colors, and she likes the metal look with them. And the reason I used this tassel, I cut it in half and split it, drilled a hole in the bottom. Then I pulled it through, and I'm like, what am I going to do now? Now I had to knot it. Then I just took a popsicle stick, and I needed this to come up higher. So what did I do? I put it on a spool with a skewer in it. So the skewer goes up inside of the rabbit, like I showed. And then this lifts him up off so that there's plenty of room to put grass around it.
Robin Wilson says, love these.
Yeah, and this, you guys, I could make tassels all day long, but that's fun. The other thing that I did with this, using that same wire that I made the hook, it's real fun. It's just thin wire, but I put glasses on one of them. And all I did was put a dot of glue here. I just looked at the eyes and just started bending some wire. And I think this is the mama rabbit. And she's the start of our parade. And she will be, she's responsible for reading the book to the little rabbits, the little bunnies. And that will go on there, and then there will be some more stuff in there and some eggs and stuff around it. So that's the whole idea of an Easter train. I just thought it was something different, maybe something that everybody hasn't ever done before. I don't know.
Joanne White says, no kidding, Amber, does she ever sleep? No, very minimally, like a couple hours at a time, especially with her leg right now.
Yeah. Then the next thing I'm going to show you quick, hopefully we'll be able to come back on, but you guys, I have so many doctor's appointments and stuff, and it's hard. But This is something I'm working on because I can sit. This chain is pulling on it. This is just a piece of chain. These are all Form Flex. I'm going to put some cards, Lucky 7.
Trying to put it over here so they can see it.
Yeah, and I'm making a necklace, and just don't let it drop. Are you
I won't.
ready?
I have
I'm
a
gonna
hold of
let
it.
go.
Yeah, I have a hold of it.
So then this here is just a piece of chain that I ran beads through.
Mardi Gras beads.
Yeah, and then I'm going to put another one. Like, I love gaudy jewelry. I love big, heavy stuff. You know, not heavy, but gaudy. Lots of stuff on it. And I'm going to run another chain that way. So don't
Cecile
forget,
says, I love the flexibility of Form Flex. Tina says, pretty. And Vicky says, oh my gosh, the glass is so adorable.
Yeah.
It all is.
You guys,
Jen says, Irish stuff. Love it. Born there.
I know, that's me. St. Patrick's Day is my day. I don't ever do much besides maybe cook corned beef and that's it. But I sure love, that's what I am, part Irish. So anyway, I always like that. And I'm going to make earrings. I got these to make earrings. And what this is, you guys, this is the chrome powder on the Form Flex. And I've showed that before. And that was really easy.
So Aspen says, my gosh, my brain is spinning. You have so many incredible tips and inspiration. I want to do a bunch of farm animal pull toys. And Cindy says, definitely would love to learn how to make necklaces out of Form Flex.
You guys, the
you know what? It's so light.
It's so light and it's so easy. And it's something right now, I've got so many necklaces in there starting. And see how you can put this, on here, this little lobster claw clip, so that you can clip it off and on different ones. You should see the amount of necklace stuff because I have to do a lot of sitting right now with my leg, and so that's what I've been working on there. I don't know a lot. I've done a ton of jewelry. In fact, I work for a
Robin
wholesale
Wilson says,
company.
so very creative.
Well, thank you, Robin. So we're going to pick out a number. We have them all numbered. I'm going to say a number, and then Amber's going to say a name of who that number is, okay?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Ready when you are.
Do you want to pick?
I don't care.
Here's
I can.
one right there. What is that one?
Number 13. Lucky number 13.
Oh, my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Kimmery McGee.
And it's got to be somebody that's in the United States.
Hey,
so.
Lisa. Lisa says, hey, sister.
Oh, my goodness.
And then Robin says, love the gold heart.
Yeah, you guys, this is fun. And this is something that anybody can do. And you don't have to have a whole lot of crap out. It won't make your house a mess. You know, you can sit and do this kind of stuff. But I think just what a fun St. Patrick's Day. I've had these little cards forever. And I just went out and sprayed them with a glaze. And I'm going to add things to those. I just need some bulk in there. So that was the reason I was doing that. And I working on it. I did the Valentine's Day one. I did a couple Valentine's Day ones. And now I want to work on an Easter one. And I want to use a bunch of peeps and some other stuff. And like the little hearts like this, these little hearts here, I painted some of them black and white check, put gold around them. And like this one, I'll probably paint green or black and white check and put that in there. Just something to break it up some, okay?
Everybody says, congrats, congrats, congrats.
Yes, I'm so glad. And I hope that all I got to do is get your address, and I will either get it sent out before the end of the week. I have to go quite a ways to go to the doctor. I have to go,
you have to go to Seattle.
Surgeon, yeah. And then I'll be back on Tuesday. So anyway, just give me, like, it will be out by the middle, if not by the middle of next week, if not by the end of this week, before I have to go. So anyway, that's what
Joanne
I have
says,
for
thanks
you.
for the drawing. Love you guys. Love you too, Miss Joanne.
Thank you. And thanks for joining us. And I hope that everybody has a wonderful weekend, safe, and stay warm.
Please don't forget to sprinkle. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We are happy to answer any questions you might have.
All righty. Thank you again, guys. Have a good day. Was a good video.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that.
Yeah, Vicky, hang on. It says, Vicky says, those books would make cute Christmas ornaments.
They'd make great
Tina
ornaments.
says, best wishes on your medical appointment. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to finish it. It won't let me finish the live yet. Lisa Seiler says, love you. And then Aspen says, thank you for sharing. All right, you guys. Love you guys. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. And Cecile says, I'm going to try a necklace with form flex. Do it. You won't be disappointed.
You'll love it.
It's great. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. And then Vicky says, hope all goes well with the surgeon.
Thank you.
Thank you
so
guys.
much.